If you're thinking about handing in your resignation, you may have more company than you expected. You know, some experts, they believe that the majority of the workforce could be looking for a new job as this pandemic winds down. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity for you to look for a better job and to make more money. And that, my friends, that's up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. You know, before the break, I said that this could be your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to find a better job, a better paying job. And here's why. Many businesses, as you've heard, they're reporting that they are having trouble finding enough employees to hire in retail. The number's 94% of retailers, they can't fill vacant positions. A Microsoft survey of workers across 31 countries, it put those considering leaving their jobs at a staggering 41%. In the U.S., the number of workers looking for a new job, it's a whopping 55%, and that's according to a Bankrate survey. So this actually may be an ideal time, the best time, a great time to make changes in your career, especially if you're ready to leverage your skills and your experience as you search for a new job. But if you're going to do that, you should plan ahead and focus on the effort. So I'm going to give you 4 strategies to keep in mind. Number 1, set priorities. Remote work, it may be at the top of your mind, but there are other factors to consider too. Like, what kind of office culture are you seeking? What benefits would support your work-life balance? Number 2, create a timeline. You may want to act quickly, or you may want to see how your current company adapts to reopening. However much lead time you take, use it to make yourself more competitive. Number 3, boost your skills. Continuing education and training is one of the most effective things that you can do. Read books, listen to podcasts, and complete certification courses online. Number 4, try again. If you were job hunting during lockdown, you may still be feeling a bit discouraged. But remember that you're more likely to succeed now, and you may be able to adapt, or I should say apply for a higher position that seemed out of reach before. Now, if you're going to be looking for a new job, your laptop or your iPad, why, those 2 pieces of technology, they're your new best friends, because even with modern vaccines, you'll probably be doing more networking and interviewing online. So I'm going to share with you 8 tips to help you to make a positive impression in the virtual world. Number 1, test your equipment. You know, it's pretty easy. It's very easy to become complacent when Zoom calls become a familiar routine. And believe me, I know that. But what I do is I ensure that my technology, that my Zoom call is always going to work perfectly. I want to make sure the sound is just right. And it's difficult sometimes. It's very difficult because, as I said, you get into a routine, you don't check your equipment, then what happens? You get on that important call, that big interview, and now they can't see you, you can't see them, they can't hear you, or maybe you can't hear them. So check your equipment. It's important to do. And if you can't do it yourself, it's easy to get online, to find somebody on Upwork or one of the other platforms and ask them to help you if you have a problem, but check your equipment. Number 2, arrange your space. You know, staging can help you look more professional at home, so create an appealing backdrop, minimize distractions, and that includes kids and pets. And something that I do is I make sure that I shut my door, but before I do that, I let my family know that, hey, I'm getting on a call, I'm getting on a Zoom call, it's important, so please, if you don't mind, kind of keep it quiet, at least for a few minutes. When I'm done, I'll come out and I'll let you know. Number 3, make eye contact. That's so important. Look at your camera, look straight into your camera instead of watching yourself on your monitor. And some people do that. They do it quite by accident. Now, it also helps to keep your camera at eye level. You may need to take some books, put it underneath your stand so you can prop up your camera, prop up your iPad, or even if you have a little camera mounted to the top of your computer, hey, just make sure it's at eye level. Number 4, check your posture. Sit up straight and smile, because you may be scrutinized more closely on screen, and believe me, you will be scrutinized. Skillful lighting and makeup, yeah, it can help make you look more attractive too. What I recommend you do, if you can, is have yourself and your camera in front of a window. Nothing is better than natural light, but make sure you set that stage. Number 5, practice interviewing. Just ask a friend or a family member to rehearse with you, or you could book a session with a career coach so you can get their feedback. You use that feedback to catch habits that you may not be aware of, and even your family members may not tell you. The strength of your performance is so important when you're sitting on that Zoom call, when you're being interviewed online. So practice, practice, practice. Number 6, warm up old ties. Now, what if you've lost contact with a colleague while you've been spending more time at home or maybe on the job? It's important to refresh your network by reaching out to see how others are doing. Set weekly goals of scheduling coffee dates and attending events. Sometimes it is difficult. It is hard when we've got busy lives. It's hard to spend time networking, but set aside an hour a week or 2 hours a week. If you're not working, you can set aside a lot more time than that. Nothing beats networking. I've done a video that said this: 86% of jobs are filled through networking. Networking is critical. Number 7, join groups. You can meet new contacts without going outside. You can sign up for groups that are related to your profession on LinkedIn or Facebook. It's easy to do. But participate actively and comment on discussions and post on topics and materials that are important to you. But always, when you do that, always make sure that you interact with other people. They'll read your comments, they'll comment, you'll comment back with them. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're building your name and you're building some recognition in a group, and that will certainly help you. It will help you when it comes to finding that new job. Number 8, say thanks. Say thanks, say thanks. It's so important. Your manners can easily grow rusty if you've been talking with automated virtual assistants more than with humans, or you're talking online and you don't get a chance to see that person. Express gratitude. You could also send a thank you note after an interview. That's also important. It's also a nice touch. But always be gracious, always be thankful, and let that person know that you appreciated the time that they spent with you. So there we go, folks. I just gave you some information. I gave you some stats on what this job market is looking like right now. I also gave you some strategies, 4 strategies that I think could help you when it comes to job hunting. I gave you some tips, 8 tips on how to go online and really make a great impression. But there is something else that I want to mention, something that I think is equally important. Leverage yourself. And I did mention that. If you are willing to leverage yourself, leverage your skills and your experience. And I should have said also leverage your talent. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy when you're out job hunting. Don't be shy to let that person know, that interviewer know what your skill levels are. And don't go into that interview worrying, am I going to get this job? I really want this job. There are an abundance of opportunities out there for you, regardless of what your age is. At this point, we are in the driver's seat. And when I say we, I mean you and me. If we're out looking for a job, well, you know what? We are in demand. Our skills, our talent, and really just ourselves, somebody who is going to be there, who's got a good work ethic, who's talented, who wants to be at that company, who wants to do a good job. So whatever you do, be willing to leverage yourself, understand your true value. And I say this all of the time, and I wonder when I do say that if people who hear me say this, if they're really understanding what their real value is. You're in the driver's seat. And I'm telling you, if I'm driving down the street and I'm looking for a job and I'm looking at a place that's got a help wanted sign, or I go online and I see that a job has an opening, I know this. I know I've got the skills, the talent. And I say this. I say that you have the skills and you have the talent. You just got to believe it. You just have to believe that you're in the driver's seat. Leverage your skills, leverage your talents, and you will get ahead. You will get that better job. You'll make more money, and you will land. If you're particular, you will land in a better position. Well, there you go, folks. I just gave you what I say are the surprising truths about quitting your job during that pandemic. Well, before I go, I want to ask you to do a couple things here. I will ask you that if you enjoyed watching this video, would you give us a thumbs up? I think that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Anymore, I really don't know how that algorithm works. I thought I understood it, but if you give us a thumbs up, at least it lets me know that you found value in this video. Another thing, if you would, please consider subscribing to Over 50 TV. It's easy to do. Just hit that little subscribe button. And I will ask you one more thing, or let you know one more thing. If you're somebody out there, you've been listening to this and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not quite sure that I want to look for a new job. There's another opportunity, or are there other opportunities for me? you know what? Consider launching your own side hustle. And I do have a free side hustle starter kit. The link to that kit's in the description box. It lists how you can start a business, how you can start a side hustle, and it gives you the 8 steps, the 8 basic steps that you can do to launch your business. And if you want to get that side hustle starter kit, just click on the link in the description box. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for watching Over 50 TV. And like I always say, have a great day, everybody.